The movie opens up in the disturbing presence of Null's lair. Null is the god of the void and a destroyer of worlds. Null was betrayed by the symbiotes when Light invaded his kingdom, and he was imprisoned, but a codex has been formed. The codex is a key to his escape. He orders his creatures, the xenophages, and tells them to find the codex. Null wants to destroy every living world and end his symbiote offspring. He tells the xenophages he won't kill them if they find him the codex. He opens up a portal for them, and they go to search for the codex. In a city, we see Eddie Brock drunk in a bar in the MCU universe, and the waiter is talking about the actions of Thanos to his family. Venom gets tired and opens a portal to their own universe. They return to their universe, and Eddie complains of a hangover. Venom takes over his body and grabs different drinks while causing a mess. He controls Eddie and makes a drink. The barman leaves out of frustration, and Eddie leaves with his drink. He watches on the news that he has become a fugitive, and he is being blamed for the death of Patrick Milligan. Eddie says he can't stay in Mexico hiding, and he also can't return to San Francisco. They decide to go to New York and plan to clear his name. Venom tips the waiter, and they leave the bar. They are making their way in the city and hear a scream. Eddie and Venom go to check it out, and also get Venom some fuel. They walk into an abandoned house, and Venom breaks the lock. They make their way in and see caged-up dogs. Some Mexican men walk in and tell Eddie he is in the wrong place. He approaches Eddie and tells him he took the wrong path. Eddie tries to warn them and says he has a dark side. They get furious and aim at him. Eddie says they need to find the dog some loving home and set everything back to normal. Eddie mentions the man's dead mother, and he brings out a knife. He injured Eddie, but Venom kicks him away. They fire at him, but it does nothing to the symbiote. Venom releases the dog and fights with the cartel. They are light work for him, and he tosses them around. He takes care of all of them. They ask in fear what he is. Venom and Eddie say they are Venom, and Venom makes light work of their heads. Eddie walks out of the building and leaves, but he doesn't notice the xenophage. The xenophage cannot see Venom, and hence the codex is not found. In a secret place, the agency is able to identify and locate Eddie because of the camera that recorded him in Mexico. In the bar, the bartender sees a piece of Venom, and he reaches out to it, only to be stopped by Rex Strickland. He asks the bartender about Eddie. The man says that Eddie was acting crazy and talking to himself. Rex asks them to bring the man, and he leaves. In Nevada desert, Dr. Teddy Payne is having a nightmare about a past memory, where she got struck by lightning and indirectly killed her brother. She wakes up and receives a message from Rex. They bring Patrick Mulligan inside a box on life support. Teddy Payne drives to an Area 51 Army base. Rex comes out of a car and goes to a machine. He activates the machine to pour acid and rid waste. Dr. Payne drives into an enclosed cave and goes into the symbiote containment and analysis. She greets Strickland, and he tells her that Patrick arrived before she did. Sadie Christmas goes into a room and wears her coat. Dr. Payne suits up and checks what they are up to. They see Patrick, who has died, but the symbiosis was complete. Sadie takes the Venom symbiote from Rex and goes to store it. Patrick is awake, and he is hyperventilating, but Sadie tells him to calm down. Payne goes to meet with him, and Sadie says he has been having panic surges. She asks how are both of them doing, and says the transfer was successful. She says there was no choice other than saving him. He is brought forward and says they're monsters. She asks if the symbiote is talking to him, and his hearing aid begins to distress. He talks for the symbiote and says they are running away. A creature is looking for the symbiote, and they all will be found. And Null will kill them all, including the humans. His ear begins to twitch, and he sees the future. He sees the destruction and the freedom of Null, and he warns them of the darkness. Eddie hitches on a plane to get to New York. Eddie complains of the plane, and he transforms into Venom. Unfortunately, Venom is exposed, and the xenophage is able to see the codex. It goes towards the plane and attacks Venom. Venom is able to escape, and he hides inside Eddie. He jumps down and makes a parachute to land safely. We see a family on a road trip. Their dad is excited to possibly see some aliens. The xenophage body starts dropping from the sky, and the family drives past it. It regenerates its limbs and attaches itself together. Venom lands Eddie, and Eddie questions him about what happened back there. Venom is looking around and tells Eddie what the creature was. He tells Eddie if the xenophage has found them, then it means more is on their way. The symbiote imprisoned Null on a planet, where he would stay for eternity. But he has awoken and is looking for a way out. Venom knows he is in big trouble. and tells Eddie about the Codex. The Codex is the merging of both the life force of Eddie and Venom. If Venom should ever bring Eddie to life, it would form a Codex. Eddie remembers the time he died and realizes the Codex is inside the both of them. If Venom should come out in its true form, then the Xenophage would track him instantly. The only way for the Codex to be destroyed is if either Venom or Eddie should die. They keep going and they find a horse. They silently approach the horse, and Venom takes over the horse. He transforms the horse and runs away very fast with it. He runs off the cliff and jumps. Venom catches Eddie from falling. They keep going. Back at the symbiote containment lab, Rex says the symbiotes aren't here to run away, but are here to conquer Earth. He says a meteor crashed on Earth and the symbiotes survived, which means they weren't running away, but are trying to invade. Venom goes to a lakeside, but there is an aircraft flying towards him. The soldiers use his Venom weakness of sonic waves against him, and they dive into the waters. They are pursuing Eddie and Venom, and they catch Venom with a net. Eddie is fighting one of the soldiers, and he accidentally shoots her. Venom escapes the net by bonding with a fish, and he latches onto a frog. He leaps out to save Eddie. He risks their location and transforms to Venom to save Eddie. The Xenophage is immediately alerted and instantly jumps towards Venom's location. Rex is confused about the creature. The Xenophage jumps towards Venom, but he transforms back. It can't see the Codex anymore, and it attacks the soldiers. Eddie escapes, and the Xenophage leaves. Rex is angry and calls Dr. Payne. Rex tells her something else is out here. Eddie tells Venom that those were special forces. And now both the cops and the United States are after them, as well as the Xenophage. Eddie tells Venom to stay hidden while they get to New York without getting killed. Dr. Payne asks Patrick to come out and says the creature he talked about is here. Patrick transforms to his symbiote and approaches them. He says he senses his own kind, but the symbiote Null is looking for isn't here. He says it is only Venom who carries a Codex. He tells them that Null is the end of the universe, and there is nothing they can do to stop him. Rex says the only thing they can do now is to kill Eddie or Venom, so they would kill the Codex. Eddie goes to meet the man from earlier, and he says hello to them. They invite him for food and introduce his kids to them. He says his name is Martin and gives him some food. He says they could help Eddie get to New York. Martin is trying to see an alien before they shut down Area 51, and he asks if Eddie is a believer of aliens. Eddie answers his questions and tells him he believes in aliens. They're driving away and have a sing-along in the van. It's late at night, and the kid gives Eddie a chocolate. He says he doesn't want to see an alien because he is scared, and Eddie comforts him by telling him aliens are not real. They finally arrived in Las Vegas and come down from the car. Martin helps Eddie with some money and gives him some sandals. He tells Eddie goodbye, and Eddie says goodbye also. Eddie and Venom make their way towards the city. Venom suggests they make some money at the casino so they can go to New York. He finds a man and knocks him out. Eddie takes his clothes, and they go back to the casino. Venom gambles all their money away and is about to smash the machine. He looks over and sees Mrs. Chun. They go over to meet her, and she embraces them. Eddie tells her what he's been up to, and she offers her room to clean up. A man walks in and tells Rex that they have located Eddie. He says the Six are on their way. Rex calls a mysterious man and tells him he wants full control of the Imperium program. Eddie is in the room with Miss Chun, and she asks Venom for a dance. The Xenophage is on the lookout, and it can't find the Codex. Eddie tells Venom that he can't come outside, but Venom takes over and dances with Miss Chun. This alerts the Xenophage, and it sights the Codex. It starts making its way towards Venom. Meanwhile, Venom is having a good time with Miss Chun. The Xenophage makes its way to Venom very fast. It sights Venom and jumps towards it. Venom quickly hides, which makes the Xenophage unable to see the Codex anymore. It leaves them alone, but the special forces arrive. They knock Venom out and captures Eddie and Venom. The Xenophage goes after their aircraft and sneaks into their base. Martin and his family make their way to Area 51, and Martin's dream finally comes true. They sneak in hopes of finding aliens. Meanwhile, Sadi says that the symbiote is deteriorating without its host, and they send it down, and Null must stay locked away. Martin leads his family to a watchtower so they can get a better view of the place. Eddie wakes up and calls out to Venom. He is having a headache and sees Patrick. Patrick transforms and tells him they must keep the Codex out of Null's hands. He tells Eddie to free the symbiote army they have below them, and Null must stay locked up. Payne comes to meet Eddie, but is interrupted by Rex Strickland. He says the Codex can only exist if they're alive. He kills Eddie, but Venom leaves Sadi to save him. The xenophage appears, and Venom tells them to run. They fight the xenophage, but it is after Venom. The green symbiote attacks the xenophage to protect Venom, but he is quickly killed. They break into the other room, and Venom tells them to release the symbiote. Sadi acts quickly and opens it. The symbiote starts finding new hosts and fight the xenophage. Eddie untransforms to hide the codex, while more symbiotes find their host. She bonds to a green symbiote and tells Eddie to run. Eddie transforms again to escape, and the other symbiotes help him. Martin tells his kid there aren't any aliens, but the symbiotes burst through the wall. They try to take down the xenophage, but it's too strong. Dr. Payne quickly gets the agony symbiote, and the xenophage escapes the room. Martin screams, "Aliens are real," and the symbiotes go to fight it. The xenophage is too strong for them, and it's resisting their attack. Eddie is running away, and Martin calls out to him. Eddie goes up to meet them, and he says they can't be here. He tells them his best friend is an alien, and Venom comes out to say hi. Rex takes an RPG launcher, and he fires at the xenophage. This causes an explosion, and it knocks a car towards the tower. The symbiotes come to save them, and Sadi's symbiote is angry at Rex. She says they are not the bad guys. The xenophage joins its limbs back together. It sends a sonic wave and alert Null. Other xenophage begin to come out of some portals. The symbiotes fight with them and are about to be killed by the xenophage. Dr. Payne drives Martin and his family away. Eddie takes a dirt bike and tells Rex to follow him. He transforms and leads the xenophage away from Sadi. She runs after him and tries to help Venom escape. Payne is successfully able to get Martin away from the chaos. Venom launches his bike upward and hides in Eddie. The special forces keep firing until they explode. Unfortunately, the xenophage survives and it attacks the helicopter. It comes crashing down and kills some soldiers. Rex shoots at it and tries to save his team, but he is stabbed. Eddie and Sadi work together, and they use the chopper blades to cut the xenophage's head and legs. Sadi takes Rex and his soldier to safety. Venom is riding towards them, but his xenophage knocks him. He is about to kill Eddie off. The xenophage head is blown off by Martin, who came back to help. Sadi runs towards the xenophage, but it blasts them back and eats Sadie's symbiote. More xenophage comes out of the portal, and Venom drags Eddie to safety. Venom tells Eddie he did well, but it seems this is the end. They have their moment together, and Venom tells Eddie it isn't goodbye. Eddie steps outside and tells the xenophage to come and get him. He then wraps himself around the xenophages and drags them along with him. He signals Rex to go somewhere, and he makes his way further. He goes to a place surrounded by acid and throws Eddie outside. He says he will never forget Eddie, and Eddie shouldn't forget him either. Eddie tries to stop him, but Strickland activates the acid machine, and it burns Venom. Venom stretches out a tentacle and covers Eddie with some debris. Venom tells Eddie it is bye for now, and he then breaks the legs of the machine, dumps all the acid on himself. Strickland opens a grenade and causes a massive explosion. Payne and Sadi are running away, and Sadi falls down. Payne uses the agony symbiote with new speed powers, and she is able to save Sadi. Eddie goes unconscious and wakes up calling Venom. He tells Venom he just had the craziest dream, but the man next to him says Venom isn't coming back. Eddie is forgiven for his bravery, and he can start his life back to normal. The man takes his leave after warning Eddie to be quiet. Eddie wanders through the city, and he has memoirs of Venom. He goes to the Statue of Liberty in memory of Venom, and the movie comes to an end. In the post-credits scene, Null says he is awake, and he will conquer their planet. He says their planet is his, and they will watch. In the end credits scene, Venom is shown to have survived being bonded to a cockroach, and he goes to meet the bartender.